Welcome back to the yoga bus. Anyone would think it's the middle of the night, but it's not. It's 5:15, and I've had the lights on out here since about 3:30. Welcome to the UK winter. It's raining outside, but it's actually pretty cozy in here with I've got the heater on. So you've got lights in here, and it's allowing me to imagine what it's going to be like to live in here. And I just can't wait. It's going to be, I mean, at the moment it looks like a spaceship, but it's just going to be such a cozy space. Hopefully this time next year, next winter, I'm not going to be in the rainy, dark UK. I'm going to be somewhere warmer. That would be nice. That's the plan. That is the plan. So I'm still, as you can see, putting insulation in the walls. It seems like it's been going on forever, but I have done some exciting things in between. I have put solar panels on the roof. You may have seen. I've waited ages to do that, so that felt like a really big thing to get that ticked off. And the wires are coming through the roof here and coming down the wall here to the rest of my wiring, which is where my electrics are going to be here in the back corner of the van. So I have done that. But yeah, still going with the insulation. It's like everything with this build. It's taking way longer than I anticipated. Kind of, I always have this thing in my head, right? I'll just do the insulation. Like a couple of months later, insulation's done. But yeah, as I talked about in a previous video, just one foot in front of the other, do as much as you can, do a little bit each day, and you get there in the end. That's what I keep reminding myself. So I just wanted to talk about why I want to live in a van. Why do I want to live in a van? The main thing that sums it up, I think, is freedom. Now, I made a post the other day asking, like I shared a post, which I'd seen, which really resonated with me, that said, are you a bird or are you a tree? And if you're a tree, you are happy when you find somewhere to deeply root yourself, and you stay in one place. That's what you do. You're happy there. If you're a bird, you like to explore, you like to travel around, and I am definitely a bird. I have lived quite a nomadic life for most of my adult life. I'm 42 now, and I have been moving around since I was 25. I first went to live in Thailand when I was 25. For the last 4 years, I've been back in the UK, and I actually, to be quite honest, I never thought I would live back in the UK, but you know, I have done, but and I still plan on spending a fair amount of time in the UK, but I would like to be able to move around again and travel around to warmer and sunnier places. And the van is going to allow me to to do that. Because the other thing is, you know, one of the reasons I stopped moving around so much was because I was feeling like I needed a little bit more stability, like always being in different, living in different rooms, apartments. Kind of, I did start to feel that I needed something a little bit more stable. So the van is going to give me the best of both worlds. I can have my house around me, my own house, which I've never done before. I've never decorated anywhere and made it my own because I have moved around so much. I just live in places. I don't actually make them my own. So that's going to be something quite novel for me. But yeah, I get the best of both worlds. I get to have my I'm going to be like a snail. I have my home with me and I can go wherever I want. And yeah, that just really appeals to me. And I think it's really important to understand what it is that makes you happy and to arrange your life that way as best you can within your means, with the resources that you have. This is the awkward bit, you see, getting insulation up into these little corners. Also, freedom to be able to be surrounded by nature. I absolutely hate living in towns, in built up areas. But if I'm renting somewhere, I can't afford to buy anywhere. If I'm renting somewhere, then I'm probably, you know, where I'm going to live, it is going to be probably surrounded by houses. Whereas in the van, I can be out in the middle of nowhere, nobody around me. And yeah, that is, you know, let's say knowing what environment makes you happy is really important. And I know that being out in nature makes me happy. And this van is going to allow me to be able to be in some just amazing places. And when I step out of my home, I can be wherever I want to be. And that just, yeah, appeals so much. And the other thing is freedom from the ridiculous rents that we have now. I mean, I don't know what it costs whatever country you're in, but in the UK, you cannot rent somewhere for, you know, less than 600-700 quid a month. That would be like your really, 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 really most basic, horrible shithole, probably. Yeah. And as a poor yoga teacher, and I can't work full time because it kills me. I just can't afford to pay rent like that. Not without breaking myself, not without killing myself. At the moment, I'm lucky enough to be able to live with my parents while I'm doing this van, converting this van, which I'm so grateful to be able to do. I know a lot of people just wouldn't have that option, and I know how lucky I am to be able to do that. But that, you know, I first moved out of home when I was 18, and I'm used to living, you know, independently. There's only so long you can live with your parents, no matter how well you get on with them. So yeah, it's freedom from being tied to a job that I don't like, to be able to pay for a house or a flat that I don't particularly like. This van gives me the freedom to have my living space exactly how I want it, without having to pay rent. I've got solar panels on the roof, so I don't have to pay for electricity. All I'll have to pay for is diesel, and then obviously any repairs or anything that needs to be done on the van. And we all know that they come up. So yeah, it's basically freedom. That is why I want to live in a van. And it's taking some commitment to get there, to have a van. It's not an easy way out, but it is the way that is going to make me happiest and suit my temperament, my way of being the best, and will allow me to stay true to myself and live how I want to live. That's really, and that's really, really important.